I've had, hi guys, I've had a couple of requests here to demonstrate how to place an order to enter an income generator on from ETX, taking the values that you see when you see a trade setup occurring inside eSignal. So this is the first example. I'm just going to go back in time to on the euro to an income generator setup. As you can see, I've got my weekly chart here. I like the particular look of it. Hit resistance, supports bounced off, broken through, testing resistance. 10-day moving averages here. This is relatively good. It tells me it's an IG short setting up, but actually what happened on the day was it did actually set up as an income generator, because sometimes this might not actually, you have to wait, and it's very important that you wait until the close of the bar. You don't set up your order yet. You have to wait until the close of the bar. So you have to wait until either late at night, which is after the bar closes, and then you need to determine at that point if it's closed like this as a solid white arrow before you place your order. So in this case, I know that it did do that, but it's just not displaying it right now. So the rules of the income generator, it will actually give you entry values and stop values at the bottom of the screen. But in this case, what I want to do is I'll use the standard rules that we use on the Intro Forex course, which is my entry should be, the rule is 5 pips below the low of the bar. And so this is a phase 1 down and a phase 2 pullback, and we're placing an order below, kind of like here. We have a pullback, we want to place an order below so we get triggered into the trade and taken with the next wave. So in this case, we have a pullback. I like this because of the breakthrough and the retest. This is still a nice valid setup, and we have an arrow saying here's an income generator short. My one thing though is that I know the rule says 5 pips, the entry is 5 pips below the low, but the reality is if you take any of the pound currencies, pound Aussie or pound Kiwi, you're gonna have like a 10 pip spread anyway. It's just ridiculous. So I'm going to advise you to put at least a 10 pips gap between the low of the bar and your entry. So the low of this, according to this little box up here, the low of that bar is 2525. So therefore my entry is going to be 2515 for that, which is going to be approximately here. I'm just visually demonstrating this. So it'll be 2515. And my stop is 100 pips above, behind the bar. So in other words, price comes down, pulls back, triggers me in. My stop must be 100 pips above and behind that bar. So the high of that bar, according to the little box, is 2624. So 2724 is my stop. 2724 is where my stop will be. All right. So now I'm going to go and put that into ETX. Let's go across to ETX over here. And what I'm going to do is I go and find, using FX, go choose my rolling daily, go down until I find the euro US dollar, go across to the order section, because we want to place an order that we can leave for 24 hours to see if we get triggered in. So we're going to choose that. And it brings up a little tab here. It's interesting because you can jump between those, and that's the same as the trade and order here. It's the same thing. However, what I would like you to pay attention to is we need to select sell here. Because it's grayed out, it actually doesn't mean you can't select it. You need to select sell because we are going to go short. So just to repeat that, we have a pullback and we want to get in short. We have a pullback, we want to get triggered in short. So we place our order, our entry level order must be here, which is at that, what was that, 2515 was my entry. So 2515 is my entry order. We will come back to this. We'll come back to this. Let's do the stop first. We will come back to that amount. And our stop is going to be 2724. 2724. So my stop will be at 2724, and that is 209 pips. So 209 pips is what we need to spread our 1% risk over. So what that means is, if we have a certain size account, if we go down here, and let's just say that we have a £20,000 account. Not everyone has that, I understand that. But 1% of that is going to equal, what is that, £200? Okay, so we have £200 that we can do as our risk. So we need to divide that £200 over those pips. So £200 divided over the total number of pips, 209. So we're spreading our risk, our 1% risk, over those £209. So we need to divide it over the 209 pips. All right, and that is going to equal, let's go and do a calculation so it's precise. 200 divided by 209 gives me 0.95. Okay, you round down. You don't round up in this case. So it's 95p. So we go into ETX, and so our quantity per pip is 95p. And in this case, that's okay because I've already calculated, I've already put my spread is already actually allowed in here because I used the 10 pip gap. The spread is actually already calculated into these two figures. So we're fine in that respect. Okay. Between the entry and the stop, we have 209 pips, and we've divided our 1% risk over that. So that works perfectly well. And that's it. And so what you will do then is you will place the order, which will then sit and wait to be triggered inside your order book. So you will have that sitting. I have a number of these. Let's see, what are we looking for here? Sell 0.95. That will be my sell order. And we can amend those values by going to amend. We can change those values before if we make a mistake and just say amend. And we can cancel the order as well. So we can just go to cancel and say cancel, and it will get rid of that order, which it will do if it doesn't get triggered. So then what happens is the next day we come home and we are triggered into the trade. And so what we need to do is update our stop. Our stop must be moved down to 100 pips behind this bar. So we're trailing our stop behind the price action to trap the profits in. So the high is 2574, so we must move our stop down to 2674. Okay, so 2674 is where it will be visually, but in ETX we will update that. This would actually have triggered, and we would go to our stop, and we would just amend our stop to 2674. So that will go down to 26. It wasn't actually that. It was something like that. We would say, okay, 2674, whatever that was, 2674. Okay, that's fine, and amend, and then say amend. And you need to do that every subsequent day. So the next day, come home. Price is moved, update my stop, 100 pips, 2593, bring it down to 2593, there approximately, go in here to that thing and amend that to that stop level to 2593 until the day you get stopped out. And so that's what you do. Okay, so you just keep amending it like that until you get triggered. So I'm just going to remove this at this point. Just cancel that because I keep adding them in and they keep triggering me into a trade. And I have a couple here. What is this? Which of these has been triggered? So anyway, 7922. So, okay, I don't know which one that is. I'll have to have a look at that. So anyway, that is the process of going through it and managing it until price stops you out. So price would keep going, and at some point it would then come back up and hit your stop and take you out, and the profits would be banked. Obviously, the goal is that your stop would get down to somewhere like this level, and at least you would take some profits, and even better, you would get your stop up to that. You also have the choice of exiting that trade. So once you have been triggered into the trade, you can actually, as an open position, you can click on the close button, and you can close that button. You can close that trade. So you are capable of doing that. Okay, and that's it. Hopefully that helps. All right, cheers.